Hey guys, so maybe you're moving to Warrensburg for a job, or maybe you're PCSing to Whiteman and you have no idea what it's like to live in Warrensburg, Missouri. I can help you with that. I have a list right here of 5 pros and 5 cons about living in Warrensburg, Missouri, and you're gonna wanna wait until the end to find out what the worst con is, because it's a doozy. Let's get to it. Before we get started, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel because we're going to be putting out a video every single week of what it's like to live in Warrensburg, Missouri. So if you're coming into Warrensburg and you want to know the ins and outs of this town, you have to like and subscribe and click the little notification button. So I'm going to start with the pros of living in Warrensburg, and I have a list of 5 things. I'm going to start with number 5 and count down. So number 5 is our growing town. We have so many new small businesses moving in. We just got a Thai restaurant, which is amazing. We have quite a few new clothing stores. We just have a growing community. There's new subdivisions being built every year. There's new factories that are being put up outside of town, which makes more jobs. So we're just a really nice little growing community, and it's great to be a part of it. Another part of our growing town is that we're about 30 to 45 minutes away from Kansas City. So people are moving here from Kansas City to kind of get out of the big city, but still have that small town feel. We also have the B21 coming into Whiteman, so that's kind of going to add a lot of interesting spiciness to the area with all the new military personnel coming into town. And speaking of military personnel, that leads us right into number 4, which is UCM and Whiteman Air Force Base. So we are about 15 minutes from Whiteman Air Force Base, which is located in Knob Noster, Missouri. And on Whiteman, we have the B-2 bomber, which is awesome. They do some amazing air shows every single year. And then we're getting, like I said, the B-21 bomber here pretty soon. So all of the military personnel PCSing into Whiteman can then use their GI Bills to take classes at the University of Central Missouri, which is also in Warrensburg, Missouri. So we have a lot of really great people coming together in this town from all over the world. So one of the amazing things about being so close to Whiteman Air Force Base is that we have such a giant array of aircrafts. We have an amazing air show, and that's because we have the B-2 bomber, we have the incoming B-21 bomber, we have the A-10, we have one of the largest detachments of Reaper and Predator squadrons in the Air Force, and we also have the Apache helicopter. So our air shows are lit. Number 3 in our list is our amazing selection of well-maintained parks. We have 9 parks in Warrensburg, and they cover over 400 acres, and 3 of them are award-winning. One of my favorites, Cave Hollows, my son's favorite. We also have an outdoor aquatic center called the Nassif Aquatic Center, which is something right out of a theme park. It's really, really great. We have 2 wineries, Montserrat Winery and Arcadian Moon, and they hold some pretty awesome events. And every weekend they have live music and wine. So we have some really great outdoor activities in this town. And through Parks and Recreation, there are so many kids' activities that you can sign them up for. There's soccer teams, there's baseball teams, there's volleyball teams, there's twisters, which is gymnastics. There are so many things that you can get your kids involved in and keep them busy and out of your hair. My favorite. And speaking of kids, that leads us into number 2, which is Warrensburg has great schools. Really great schools. U.S. News ranked the testing ratings in Warrensburg schools as in top 30% in Missouri. So pretty good. Personal experience though, I love the Warrensburg School District a lot, and that's because they have done amazing things for my special needs son. They've gone out of their way to identify and create a plan to help him succeed and flourish in school. So I really highly recommend Warrensburg School District. And of course, when talking about schools in Warrensburg, we cannot forget the University of Central Missouri. UCM is a yellow ribbon school, and they have an amazing veterans program. They make it really easy to use your GI Bill, and you can get a bachelor's degree, you can continue your education, get a graduate degree. There's so many programs, and they also have a really great international school program. I personally studied abroad in China when I went to UCM, and it was eye-opening. So UCM, University of Central Missouri, is a really great school, and it's a great opportunity to forward your education. Okay, this leads us to number 1 on our list, and that is community. I know that sounds like, how is that number 1? But the community in Warrensburg, Missouri is amazing, legitimately amazing. We have some amazing gyms. I personally go to CrossFit Believe. I love them. They're wonderful. They have so many different workouts and events to just get together with your kids. It's great. There's also Red Horse Fitness. There's Planet Fitness. So we have some great gyms. We have so many cute, adorable downtown shops that are owned by people in our local community. From Blackadder 2, which is this delicious, healthy restaurant, to Meyer's Market, whom Mary Meyer owns it, and she is awesome. So we just have such a great community of small town businesses. And we have a farmer's market twice a week where you can get fresh produce, and local farmers bring all of their local beef. It's just really awesome. And living in Warrensburg, you're only about 35 to 45 minutes from a big city. So if you need to go out to a Bed Bath & Beyond, we have a Marshall's though, by the way. But if you need to go out to a Bass Pro, or you want to go to downtown Kansas City and try some new Asian cuisine, it's accessible. It's within 45 minutes. The airport is about an hour and a half away. So we're close to a big city, but we retain our small town feel, and that's really our community. And let me tell you, our town has parades. So many parades. We have a 4th of July parade. We have a homecoming parade. We have a Halloween parade. We have a Christmas parade that's kind of like a Halloween parade because they also throw candy at your kids, which is interesting. Anyway, we have so many cool parades. We just have a really great community here in Warrensburg, and I love it. So we talked about pros. Now we're on to the list of cons. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, let's get to it. Number 5 is we are not a big city. And I know that was also a pro, but it's also kind of a con. We are not a big city. So if you really want to buy some underwear at Victoria's Secret, you're gonna have to drive 35 minutes up to Lee Summit. Or if you want to go to a honky tonk, you're gonna have to drive down to Sedalia. They have a great one down there. But we're not a big city, so we have thriving small businesses, but not as many choices. Which leads me to number 4. We don't have any health food stores. We're in the middle of Missouri. We don't have any health food stores. So if you want a Whole Foods, if you want Trader Joe's, you're gonna have to drive to Kansas City or order it. Kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Hello, Whole Foods, please come put a store in Warrensburg if you see this video. Also, which then leads me right into number 3, is we kind of have limited restaurant choices. If you love Mexican, we are the town for you. We have so many Mexican restaurants. We just got a Thai restaurant, which is amazing. We just got an Italian restaurant, which I have not eaten there, but I've heard it's pretty good. We have one amazing lunch place, Blackadder 2, which is my favorite. And we have a lot of really cool restaurants like Fitters and Heroes and Old Barney's, best burgers in town. And Raging Bull and Colton Steakhouse just opened. But if you want a larger selection, like if you want to go eat Mediterranean food or Greek food, you're gonna have to drive up to a bigger city. And I hate to inform everyone, but there is no KFC in this town. None. If you want fried chicken, you're gonna have to make it yourself. Or Zaxby's. Zaxby's is very good, but there's no KFC. You know, we may have limited restaurant choices, which are getting larger by the day. We do have our own brewery though, Phantom Brewery. We're known for it. It's established here in Warrensburg, and they make some pretty amazing hard alcohol. I would recommend it if you're the drinking sort. Another problem with us not being a big city is that we have a little bit of a traffic issue. Our Main Street 13, I would avoid it if at all costs. It definitely gets a little backed up during morning time and evening time, and then on Fridays when all the students are leaving UCM to go home or go wherever. 13 definitely gets congested, so we have a little bit of a traffic problem. Though, good for all you military folk, all of the subdivisions usually have other entrances and other ways to get to base, so you can completely avoid 13 and you'll never have to sit in that traffic, because it is annoying. So we're down to number 2, and that is our housing market. So this is kind of a pro and a con. The pro is that we have a very, very stable housing market. The con is that we have a very stable housing market with high turnover rates because we have so many military personnel PCSing in and out of Warrensburg, and then we have students coming in and out of Warrensburg. So we have a lot of investors. So it can be definitely difficult to find great deals in this town, but if you have a house in this town, you're going to be able to sell it. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. In later videos, we're going to talk about what subdivisions look like, what the people living in the subdivisions look like, what the subdivisions close to certain schools look like. So you can kind of get an idea of all the different areas in Warrensburg, in City District, and right outside, what they look like and what it would look like to live there. So whether or not you're a military family PCSing in, or you're a local professor who's just started your career at UCM, you will be able to find a turnkey house, a first-time house. It's just really knowing the area and knowing the subdivision that you need to look in to find the perfect house for you. We are on to number 1 con of living in Warrensburg. This is the most highly contentious issue about this town that I took a survey of lots of people to find it out. The number 1 problem people have with living in Warrensburg is there is no Target. There is no Target. Even the cat's upset. I'm still upset. There's no Target. I have to drive 35 minutes to go to a Target, and I need to go to a Target. So there is a rumor, though, that we may be getting a Target on the 13 bypass. So, you know, cross literally all your fingers and toes if you're moving to Warrensburg. Because listen, Target, we need you here. So there you have it, guys. Those are the pros and cons of living in Warrensburg as I know them. Like always, if you like this video, make sure that you like and subscribe. Should be like right down there. And we'll put out new videos every week, and I'll show you what it's like to live around Whiteman, what it's like to live in Warrensburg.